What's going on? James here, and in this video I'm going to talk about how do you make money on social media and or how do you start a social media marketing company. So over the last 4 years I've been online teaching thousands of people how to earn their first money working with local businesses, and one of the ways that my business partner and I have been teaching people is essentially using social media marketing for local businesses, whether it's in your area or within 20 miles or 100 miles or kind of anywhere in the world. That's the beauty of the internet. And there's so many common mistakes that not only a lot of people make, but a lot of other educators out there kind of fall short when it comes to teaching people how to do this. The first mistake, I would say, is they make it way too technical for the ordinary person. Because if you really think about when somebody's looking to make extra money online, a lot of the times they don't know exactly what to do. They're kind of just being thrown a ton of different ads. You can do Shopify, e-commerce, Amazon FBA, multi-level marketing, so many different avenues to earn some money online. And they have to kind of sift through the noise and find what resonates with you. Now, being on the internet since 2000, and I'd say 2009, trying to earn money online, and it took me a long time to figure it out, probably about 7 years. So it was probably about 2007 that I was online, that I started online. It wasn't until 2014 where marketing for local businesses was brought into my life, right? It was a Facebook ad that I saw, essentially just scrolling through my Facebook feed, working 2 jobs, as one of them as a vice principal at that time in a high school. And the noise was so loud, right? It was ad after ad after ad. It was trying Amazon, well, at that time, not Amazon, Shopify. It was, doing MLM with online companies that were here today, gone tomorrow. It was just a cluster of, I hate to use the word opportunity, but it was a cluster of choices, right? Now there's a cluster of choices more than ever. We all see it. And to me, okay, this was the only social media marketing, Facebook advertising, Google PPC advertising for local businesses by far has been the only business that I could ever get to work and profitably. And that's why most of my content I build is around that. Now, let's go through the steps that you can take, all right here on this video. And I'm going to try to lay it out in a very easy manner. Matter of fact, let's just kind of jump right into an example. Let me jump on my laptop, on my desktop here. Oops. The first thing that you want to do, because when people talk about social media marketing, right, essentially all it is how to get businesses more leads, which will end up being more customers, okay? And if you want the number one way to not only find a business who needs your help, but the number one way to get a business to pay you month in and month out is a simple Google search that you can do. Essentially, step one would be kind of pick a niche. So how do you do that? Well, essentially, I'd like to always think of, do I know anybody in a certain industry? Have I used a certain person over and over again to, let's say, fix my air conditioning? Have I used a certain person over and over again to come and fix my heat, right? That would be HVAC. Did I hire an electrician to come and do my landscape lighting? If I need somebody to come and paint, who was the person that I called to come and paint the inside of my house? You see where I'm getting? The fastest way to find a business is to kind of say, who have I been paying over the last 10 years to come and do certain things, because essentially that's a warm lead, okay? A warm lead will always be better for you to learn, even if it's just to have a conversation with, hey, Plumber B or Plumber John, let's call him Plumber Peter. You know, what kind of online presence do you have? What do you do to generate leads? Now, a lot of times you're going to hear, well, I have enough leads, you know, and a lot of times I have enough customers. I can't even keep up. And so a lot of times I'll come back with a kind of a question with a question, and I'll say, well, that's awesome. Congratulations on having a great business. But my question to you is this, Peter, you know, are you good with the amount of money you're making now? And a lot of times they'll say, no, of course I want to make more money. Well, where do you think that more money is going to come from? Well, I guess it's going to come from more customers. Exactly. So you don't need more customers? So anytime somebody asks you, anytime you ask a question and they come kind of with this half answer, right? It's just like a simple answer, like, oh, I have a lot of customers. You come back with them with the real question is, what do you want more out of life? Because, look, I've never heard somebody say, I have enough money. I've never heard it. So come back with that, right? If somebody throws a kind of a half answer to your question. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with that, the next best thing would be, you could just simply go to Google and you can just type in HVAC repair near me, and you can kind of go and see there's advertising up here, okay? And then you have your Google map listings over here, and then of course you have your organic listings. And this is a big thing that I like to talk about. A lot of times people try to you know, they have a course on rank and rent stuff where you essentially just build like this little lead gen site, and your goal is to rank it in the map pack, and their goal is to rank it here in the organic listings. But a lot of times it's very hard to rank because you're competing with people who've been around forever, and you're competing with Home Advisor, you're competing with Yelp, you're competing with Angie's List, and a lot of times you're just not going to be able to compete, okay? And getting in the map pack, you need an address. You need a company name. You need an address in like a place of business, right? And back in the day, you used to be able to game the system, and you used to be able to go get a UPS address and submit it, and then Google would send you a verification code. It'd come to your UPS, but they stopped all that. So it is practically impossible. If you're not the business owner of an HVAC company or a plumbing company or an electrical company, you're never going to land in the map pack. So you could forget about these. You could forget about this for the next 12 months to get your site to rank. So essentially, what you want to do is you want to be able to learn how to run PPC ads, okay? Because anybody who's typing in HVAC in a certain zip code is going to get their closest companies with the most reviews here, but you can run ads anywhere, right? You could put these advertisements up anywhere. And so, and these Google guaranteed, we won't talk about in this video, but this is where the opportunity is, okay? Because essentially I can put up anything I want as long as I'm willing to pay Google. Now, Google has, the cool thing is you can do this really cheap, right? So essentially you take a 2-page website, which is just a landing page and a matter of fact, I think I have it right here. Let me just, believe I have it right here. Yeah, so essentially it would look like this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. It would kind of look like this. It's a landing page, name, phone number, then it's going to have a phone number here. This is just a sample landing page here. And you could build it in ClickFunnels, you could build it in any landing page software. Landing page, thank you video, and you could just throw it up on your Google ad and you will get leads. That's the bottom line. And you'll get them for a couple bucks a pop. And so what I like to do is this, we call it something called the leads in advance. I'm going to go to page 3, okay? And I'm going to find a HVAC company somewhere here, somebody that's not getting any leads on the internet. All right. And how do I know they're not getting any leads? Because they're on page 3 of Google. Nobody goes to page 3. Nobody rarely goes to page 2. Everybody's going to be clicking and calling anybody on page 1 in the top. And so the fastest way to get to page 1 is just pay for it. And Google has, I think it's a spend $25 and get a $75 coupon. So essentially you can spend $100 on pay-per-click advertising and probably get 10 to 15 leads, and it depends on the niche, 10 to 15 leads. Now you may say, James, that's great. I can go put an ad on Google. I can, get a 2-page site I could set up in 10, 15 minutes. But like, what do I do with the leads? And that's where the magic happens, because then you simply send an email, okay? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to my email real quick. Let me pause this video and just jump on my email. Okay, so this right here is an example of a company, a plumbing, HVAC company, no, plumbing, he was plumbing, a plumbing company that I found on page 3. Matter of fact, I don't even think he was on page 3. He was on page like 9. And I just said, I found his name, and I said, I'm gonna have to block that out. I said, hi Nick, name is James Bonadise and I live here in Wayne. I happen to have a website that generates leads for HVAC businesses like yours. This was done in June. And need to send them to a business that is reputable and can handle the volume. There wouldn't be a cost for you right now. I just need someone to take these leads until I figure out what to do with them. Would you be interested? And he responded 2 days later with, yes, I would be interested. I called him on the phone. I said, hey Nick, great talking to you today. As mentioned, if you could send me a copy of your plumbing and home improvement license. The reason why I did this, okay, which by the way, turns into not only a paying client for more leads and customers, but now I offered him to get a Google guaranteed, which is it's a simple process, and I charged him $1,000 to set him up with Google guaranteed as a Google guaranteed business, and that's what this sponsored up here is. So that simple email, okay, finding somebody on page 9, right? It could be page 2, it could be page 3. And a simple freaking email I sent to a company in my area, and all he did was say, yes, I'd be interested, and I called him immediately. I got his phone number, obviously, from his website. A simple email turned into $1,000 to get him Google guaranteed, okay, and a client of like $750 a month, right? Simple, easy. Now, look, you may have to do this a couple times. You may have to send a couple emails, but if you know you can get leads, if you know how to build the simple 2-page sites, which guys, there's Weebly, ClickFunnels, there's so many different ways to get a freaking website, then 100% you can do this business. Now, you may say, James, $750. Like, guys, $750 a month for once it's all set up and right, which it would be before you even have a client, for maybe you have to look at the ads like once a month, twice a month. You're talking about like an hour to 2 hours worth of work for a month per client. How many clients can you land? At $750, you're essentially getting paid $300-400 an hour per month. You spread that out over 5 months. 5 months. You spread that out over 5 clients. That's $3,750 cash in pocket. Cash in pocket. James, who's paying for the ads? Glad you asked. The way I do it is I say $750 for my fee. Okay, and by the way, 1 job for them will pay for that. 1 job, maybe 2 jobs. I'm getting them 4, 5, 6 jobs a month, depending on how much money they want to spend in advertising. So $750 for my fee, plus I usually say $100 of ad spend. Now, what I'll do is on the $100 of ad spend, for that month, if pricing is a little bit higher, which it usually stays around the same, depends on the niche, depends on the season. Like Christmas lights is going to cost more money to bid on that keyword on PPC than during Christmas season than it will in like February. So prices may rise depending on seasonal stuff. Here's the thing. $3,750, okay, or $750 with $100 ad spend. So essentially the $750 is going to my pocket. If I notice that the $100 is not getting enough volume, I'll usually just dip into the $750, maybe by $100. And so essentially instead of $750, I'm taking home $650, right? They all go on recurring payments. And guys, $750 for a business owner is not a lot of money. So essentially, let's call it $3,500 of take-home money in your pocket with 5 clients for 10 hours of work a month. Great side hustle, the only side hustle I ever recommend. And if you want to learn more about that, if you want to watch a presentation that I did, I'm going to go ahead and link it down below. If you want to check it out, you may not. This could just, or if you're in this business already, this could be a great way to get clients. We call it leads in advance. Send the leads first. Spend $25 of your own money, $75 of Google's money, and essentially you should be able to land a $750 plus per month. Now that doesn't even include all the other things. Once you show a client all the possibilities in that you are actually for real and getting them results, essentially it leads to more things. Hey, I need social media, more of a social media presence. Hey, I want to rank my current site, so that's SEO. Hey, how do I market to my current customers? Like all these things lead to things. And then it's like, hey, you're doing a great job for me. And then I'm going to come back and say, hey, can you recommend me to anybody else? Right? And now all of a sudden, a 1 client could turn into 2 clients, could turn into $2,000 a month, could turn into 3 clients, and so on and so forth. And the snowball starts to happen. If you learn the skill, you could do anything you want with it. And that's how I would make money in 2021 and going forward. Appreciate your time. Thanks, guys. Any comments, likes, subscribe. I'm going to be putting a lot more videos out just like this one, plus more about money and investing and what to do with the extra money you're going to be making doing this business. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe. Give me a comment down below. I answer all my comments, and I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.